Hello, my friends. So, I'm in New York City and I saw a bunch of Broadway shows this week, and I'm here to review the amazing, the wonderful Natasha, Pierre, and the Great Comet of 1812. I have to be honest, this was my favorite show that I saw this time, and even though Hamilton is amazing, I kind of want to say this was a little bit better. Maybe that's because I've seen Hamilton twice and I've gotten used to it, I don't know, but this show was everything. I'm still singing all of the songs. So, if you don't know what this show is, this is an adaptation of War and Peace by Leo Tolstoy, which sounds intimidating, and to be honest, it is. The songs are very difficult to follow, and I came out of it not really knowing what happened, but that doesn't really matter. The joy of this show, which is Tony nominated, 12 Tony noms, really, really great. The best part about it is it's a very interactive show. So this is a musical that you can sit on stage for, and things get thrown at you, and you get shaker eggs, and like you can pass a letter and hand it off to Danae. Like, it was just really great. I have been meaning to see this show since about at least last summer. Last summer was when I really fell in love with some of the music from it, and I thought, wow, it'd be great to see this. And then it came to Broadway, and Josh Groban was starring in it, and we were going to see Amelie, but then Amelie closed, and so I was like, Mom, we gotta get Great Comet tickets, I want to see it, and she was like, okay. So we were 8th row, which means we were right by one of the outside platforms, so obviously the dancers literally move around the whole theater, it's beautiful, but I loved it sincerely with all my heart. Like, I don't think I expected to enjoy it as much as I did, because going into it you're kind of like, I don't know, War and Peace, I don't really know what's gonna happen, but Josh Groban is in it, it's fine, I'm gonna enjoy myself. And I did. Oh my gosh. As you can tell, it's pretty impressive. I got a lot of ensemble members to sign this, but the main person that I met that I was super excited about, the main couple, I got to meet Anatole, who is Lucas Steele. I also got to meet Mary and Sonia. My favorite of all of them, I just want to say Anatole, Lucas Steele, because he was just like beautiful to look at. But Josh Groban was really, really amazing, obviously. I think all of them are great for different reasons. It was just such a good show, so I'm going to talk about it a little bit more deeply. So if you don't want to get spoiled, don't watch it, but let's just fangirl together. Wow, I'm still thinking about this show. I loved all the shows that I got to see. I also saw Anastasia and Waitress, and they were great. I loved them. I cried. This, I only really cried at the beginning. When they started singing Prologue, I was crying. I was like, this is the song I've been meaning to see for so long. They're singing it, they're dancing, like, I was just losing it. I was very emotional at that moment, but I didn't really cry at all during the rest of it. I really enjoyed this show more because it was so entertaining. I've never seen a show so unique and well crafted and creative. I just was blown away. Like, when you walk in, the set is just so gorgeous. There's chandeliers everywhere, there's lights hanging down, you get a little table by your seat, there's a bar. It's just like beautiful, and the costumes were so incredible, and I can't even. I loved this show for a lot of reasons, but I think my favorite is the group dynamic in this show, and I think every Broadway show has a group dynamic that's family-like, but for this one, it's very, very intense. The dancing is obviously Russian, but like, Russian dancing is very expressive, and this show has a lot of moving around because you're moving around, there's people on stage, so you kind of gotta like weave through, and everybody's dancing and singing at the same time, and like, it's ridiculous. I don't think I can fully explain it to you without you having seen it and experienced it, because I like remember vividly at least 2 or 3 times where they have group dance numbers where I was just sitting there and I was like, wow, like just smiling so big because it was so beautiful. There was one scene, I believe it's the opera, where they say they have intense strobe lights, and I was like, yeah, okay, Anastasia had strobe lights, I can handle this. And I almost couldn't handle the strobe lights. They went on for a good like 30-40 seconds, maybe a whole minute, and by the end of it I was like, I'm this close to having to close my eyes and throwing up because it just was ridiculous. Like, I loved how beautiful this show was. I think this show is less about the characters, even though the characters are great, and I love how everybody portrayed their characters, and everybody had this great Russian accent. But I think this show is less about the characters themselves and more about the set and more about the dancing. Like, the dancing and choreography for this show impressed me so much. Like, I know for a fact it's gonna win so many Tonys just because it's unique, and there's nothing like it on Broadway at all. Like, there's nothing that compares to it. Hamilton was great because it's rap and it's fresh and it's new and the choreography is intense and great, but like, also it's nothing like Great Comet. Great Comet is totally different and way more intense, and the dance numbers are just wild. I could have stayed in that trance-like state of them dancing for eternity. Like, it was that good and impressive and fun. It was just fun. That's what I really liked about it. And it was really easy to just stare and watch and get lost in it. And then, you know, Josh Groban would sing for 5 minutes and you're just like, oh. He was great. He played the accordion for like the whole show, and I was so impressed with him. I really loved Danae, who played Natasha. She was really talented. And I think all of them had very great vocal function. Like, literally, Lucas Steele, I don't know how he would like to just hit these really high falsetto notes, and I was like, dude, you're what years now? I wish I could see it multiple times, because I think it's a show that you can't fully appreciate the first time, especially if you don't know the music well. Like, the main part about it is it's very similar to Les Mis in that there's not a lot of talking. It's primarily just like sung. The story is just sung, and it really felt like I was like kind of reading War and Peace, because the characters will be like, and Pierre opened the door, and then he was sitting in his study and reading, not like that, but like you seeing what they were doing. And so it was difficult to comprehend exactly what was going on. Luckily I did follow it, I think, like the main gist of it, but there were a lot of times where I was like, I don't really know what's happening, it's fine. It was very risque. It was not something you'd probably want to take your grandma to go see, although there were a lot of old people at the show, but I can't. I don't say lightly that I almost enjoyed it more than Hamilton. I think Hamilton is great, but the difference between the two of them for me was that Hamilton, I went into it kind of knowing what to expect. I knew the story very well. I knew the songs like the back of my hand. So the only new fresh thing was I was seeing the main actors, and I was experiencing the choreography for the first time. So it was more of a like phenomenon where I was like, I need to see this. I've loved it for so long. Great Comet was something that I knew I was probably going to enjoy, and I've heard a lot of great things about. A lot of people told me to go see it, and I loved like 3 songs from it, but I had no idea what to expect going into it, and it just like blew me away. And I desperately want to see it again. I don't know when. I could talk about it all day. That told you nothing about the show probably, but if you've seen Great Comet and you want to talk about it in the comments, I would love to, because it's so good and I'm still freaking out about it. Anyways, thank you guys for watching, and I'll talk to you in my next video. Bye!